Oh my goodness, the dryer is shaking my camera. Can we pause it or something?
Yes,
yes.
Yeah. Okay, just 1 second. Oh my gosh.
And welcome back to the Riley Black Project. Crystal and John.
What's up?
Oh, just gearing up for a busy show.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And all good things.
Yeah.
All good things. So much so that we have to split up our reads.
Oh, you ruined. That was gonna be my line.
Oh,
That's okay.
you can say it.
I'll say it later.
Okay. You can tell them who we're sponsored by.
Yes. Thank you. Katie with Monarch Pine. She gave everyone 10% off, I think. I don't know why I'm second guessing that now. It's 10%.
Yeah, it's always 10%.
Okay.
Every show, every week.
With code Riley Black, monarchpine.etsy.com.
You tired? Your energy level seems low.
My back hurts.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Yeah.
All right. Read the names.
Shouldn't have put them over here.
Oh. You old.
Huh?
You old.
I know. 40.
Sorry if you're older than 40. But
No
she's
offense, but well, and this body it's way older than 40. The brain is like 12, but the body is like
Got a lot of
60.
miles.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I was going to say before you rudely stole my line that you didn't know that I was going to say
old. Didn't know.
was
We don't
that
plan this.
we
There's
really
no-
don't.
There's no plan.
But yes, the awesome thing is that we have so many patrons now.
Mm-hmm.
I was already thinking this last week, or not last week. I think last month when I
Yeah,
read them,
we said it.
that they were
That
a
we're gonna
little
get-
long.
right.
We had, I think we were at 42, and now we're at 49.
Wow.
So even more so.
Right.
And that's not all the names, I guess. So that's 49 total.
Total. Of
we
paid.
have
Because you freebie
paid.
people,
Yeah.
you might think you're on Patreon, but you just get that clip.
You are, but you're just getting like teases.
Yeah, you just get that little clip.
Yeah. Just the tip.
Yep, just the tip. Just to see if you like it. And then you just pay the $4.
So we have 30 something paid members now that are above the say my name level and higher. So yeah, so I'm gonna read half
And we
now.
have today's
and
guest to
we
partially
do.
thank for that.
We do. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get to the awesome guest who bumped up those patron numbers for us, we have some new people. Natalie Cupid, my favorite London friend. Hannah B. Kevin with Sludge Epoxy, Daniel with a Live Pixel, Danny McManus joined
he's
us
back.
again, Stephanie with Pretty Pitty Design, Catherine with Primary Market, Bree with Burn Shack, Aaron with Aaron's Acrylic Animals, Christy C, Jess with Jersey Girl Sign Shop, Jillian B, Allison with Black River Arts, Trisha, I was going to mention hers, but it's like Mom of Six Creations, I think, is Trisha. Crystal. Oh, I need to change that too.
Uh-oh.
Rexy.
Oh,
Rexy with Spreading Stardust. Let me write those on my notes so I remember.
We got you, Rexy.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's...
And that's half of you.
That's the half.
That's the half.
The other half will get their...
Next week. If you didn't hear your name this
worthy
week,
shout out.
we got you next week.
Yeah. Those are the OGs. Because they go in
next week's the OGs?
Yeah, pretty much. So like it goes, so it's newest to oldest.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, maybe
We should
flop it
flip that
next
for
week.
next
That
month.
would be that would be good.
Yeah.
And then it'd be easy to add to it instead of putting it at the top of my Excel spreadsheet. I am a mess today,
Yes.
but I'll get it together.
Yes. So
who's our guest?
our guest today really helped. Like I said, it really helped us bump those numbers all on his own. He came to us with this great idea.
Yeah, pretty genius.
Which is amazing. We've had him on the show before. Our bond strengthened. What are you doing? What are you doing? I got this great intro. You see how she takes? You see how she just takes it?
When
I
you're
was
talking,
building you up.
When
I
you're
was bus-
talking, I was trying to put this off camera.
You know they can see you.
Listen, but I was hoping you would do your shot because you're talking by yourself.
My camera's kind of
Okay, but
They know that.
I put it back here, but then I realized my notes were on it and my back hurts, so I had to put it up here. But if I put it up here, it's on camera.
Okay. You know, I should have clarified his business name in the pre-show.
Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah, you introduce him.
Here, you do what you were going to do, and then I'll...
Well, you took the wind out of the sails. So welcome to the show. Friend of the show, back again for the second time. Blake with Great Lakes Laser Supply?
See?
Or
You
supplies?
got it.
No,
Supply.
I struggle with the supply and supplies design and
See, that
design.
I don't know. Now
Those S's get you every time.
Every time.
So what is it? Supply?
Exactly.
Is it supply or supplies?
Supply.
Only
Supply.
one. He only gives you one supply.
See, now you've created the next thing that we're going to overthink.
I'm not gonna. I know now.
We've got a list.
Right?
How's it going?
Oh, it's going awesome. Really happy to be here with you guys.
Last time you were here, it was outnumbered 5-1. Now it's Great Lakes Laser Supply.
Right? So tell us about that. What was the, how did that come about? And,
No, that's a great question. So we started our laser journey. Molly wanted to be able to make wooden earrings. So we got a laser and we named our company Outnumbered 5-1, started making earrings and ornaments, and really found success there at craft shows and on Facebook Marketplace. So then we kind of progressed and started kind of buying some guy stuff. There was nothing at craft shows for guys. So,
right.
Oh my goodness, the dryer is shaking my camera. Can we pause it or something?
Yes.
Okay, just 1 second. Oh gosh.
Speaking of all things laser, check out Houston Acrylic at houstonacrylic.com for reliable laser tested and laser approved materials.
Made for makers by makers, Houston Acrylic features over 450 styles of acrylic sheets. With over 50 new arrivals being released this month, Houston Acrylic is committed to bringing new and innovative styles to the laser community. My personal favorite is the matte, anything matte, and I feel it's perfect for everything.
Don't forget to save 10% by using our exclusive coupon code TRBP10 at checkout. Get inspired today and visit houstonacrylic.com.
Do it.
Attention all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than Crazy Laser Dad Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced, tested, and ready to use with your lasers. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for all your customers.
So, what are you waiting for? Visit crazylaserdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their laser-ready blanks.
So we noticed there was nothing for guys at craft shows, and we started adding the wallets and belts and things like that. And we went from making $600, $900 at a craft show to then starting to make like $3,000 at a craft show with the guy stuff, which then helped us to grow our laser base. So now we've got a fiber, and then that really increased our efficiency with knocking that stuff. And then we had people locally, hey, can I buy some wallets from you? And we started kind of selling, which then got confusing for our customers. So they would, they'd be like, oh, I just bought a wallet for $40, and I see you've got it on your website, for like $12. Well, that's wholesale, versus retail. So that kind of led us to start a new company, which has been 3 months since the Michigan Laser Conference. That's where we kicked things off. And it was just such a huge success there at the Michigan Conference, where we then went to the Next Level Laser Conference.
Yeah. Nice. And you're welcome. I gave you my spot. No, I didn't know I was giving you my spot, but me moving around helped free up a spot. And yeah,
I saw your sign was up when I went there, and I'm like, what the heck? Why is your sign there? I didn't know.
Oh, no?
No.
Wait, so my sign?
Will told me after we got over there, but your sign was up, and it said your name in my spot.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're welcome. My gift from me to you. Not really, it was theirs, but so I feel like honestly a lot of the blank sellers started that way. I think I I don't know many blank sellers who, I think Will might have been one of them, but all the ones I know. So I'm not sure about Katie, Liz, and myself. As far as I'm not like, I'm kind of a blank seller now, but
'cause
still
the
not
thingies.
really. If it's a small blank, I'll sell it. I don't have space for big stuff, so. But I mostly stick to keychains, obviously. But I started selling the keychain thingies because I was looking for them, and then I saw other people were looking for them, and then I thought I was just going to do like one big bulk order and that was it. But then people, kept wanting to order more because, especially with those, like, I don't even know what the minimum is because I order way above that now. But if you only want 100 of them, like if you don't do a lot of keychains, it makes zero sense for you to go find a source and supplier on your own, because it just, you would buy 500 to a couple thousand and you're never going to use them if you make a couple keychains a year, a couple keychains a month or whatever. So yeah, just even more so, like a lot of like Liz, she started selling them because she was going through the work of finding good, blanks and sources for her business, and she does a lot of craft shows and stuff as well. And then was like, oh, people were asking, in her group, say, hey, where'd you get those? And so then she started selling them. So it just makes sense, especially when you have a community and you have people asking, like, unless it's something you really, really don't want to do, not even like talking about blanks, but if people are continually asking you something, that means that's something that you need to turn around and monetize somehow, at least eventually, maybe not initially. So like one of those is a podcast course. That's his next task, or one of the next tasks, because we get asked so many times, I want to start a podcast. I don't even know where to start. And, we want to help everybody, but like he just had a call with someone the other day, and it was like almost an hour and a half, I think. And that's only just like barely touching the surface. So it's like, I can either charge you a couple $100 to talk to you for a couple hours, or I can make a course for 50 to 100 or whatever, and give you the basics of what we did to get us to this point, and then, help you out. So, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of brings me to something similar for me. Part of transitioning to Great Lakes is my passion for helping other people, which I think really we can talk about several times, tonight. But, I love helping people. Typically on my drive home, I'm on the phone with somebody. I've got a 40-minute drive. I'm on the phone with somebody.
We're always like terribly texting each other and then being like, oh, sorry, I was driving. And then we'll like call each other because we don't want to be like, when I was going to the post office the other day, or he was driving, so he called me the other day. Yeah. Trying to be safe with our laser talk.
Yeah. But I love helping people. So then that kind of also helped me to better facilitate that with Great Lakes, because I'm working more, B2B, where I can help other people in their laser journey and help them get started. That's what I'm really passionate about too. I don't know what's next as far as that goes, but starting with our Facebook group is where I'm really trying to start helping people.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say, how many members do you have? It's under 1,000 though, but you're close, right?
In the 800s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've posted in our group as well, but so this collaboration that he came up with, it's a genius idea. Honestly, we had run out of ideas of ways that people could support us, but still advertise, you know what I mean? And still get like that, the mutually beneficial relationship. And we just, it's not like everyone was knocking on our door, but I actually did have to cut one of our ad spaces short, because most people, we did a year. And then the problem with the year was that it made it so that we had the same 4 people every year on our podcast as far as the ads, and nobody else could get in. So one of them who wasn't one of our like the only one who wasn't, I think, an exclusive level where like, you know, they get the exclusivity is what I'm trying to say. So like Eon is the only laser company that we have ads for, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
We mentioned a ton of others. It doesn't go as that far, but anyway, so the one that didn't have exclusivity, we wanted to switch that up so that we could go through our wait list, because we didn't really know like how to get there, and like we want to give everyone an opportunity. Yes, we want to switch things up,
and we don't want a show full of ads either.
Right, we don't want a show full of ads either, because I mean, let's be real. I know most of the time you're going to hear the first couple seconds of it, and unless you're like driving or not near your computer or whatever to like easily skip it, you're probably gonna skip it. At least I've seen him watch podcasts, and all of a sudden I know an ad comes up because then he's doing to his phone. Most of the time I'm in the zone, so it's just easier for me to let it
and
be.
I'll let it go too if I'm not, like you said, if I'm not there or like on like in the vicinity of skipping.
Yeah.
You know, I'll listen to the ad run. But a lot of times too is like I've already heard, you know, the same ads. You can only hear a Manscaped ad for so long. Or Hello Fresh.
Very good point. Yeah.
You know, so it's like, and every time if it's a new, I'm like, oh, they got a new sponsor.
Right, and you listen, you're like, who's this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point too, because if it's a new ad, you stopped.
Right.
So case in point, like this is why we kind of need to switch it up. But yeah, when you reached out with that great idea, and you know, you were posting it in your group and we were posting it in ours as well. But I feel like at least 50%, if not more, of the 6 new members we got were people from his group. So like, you know, I know I think, but this is also my negative self-talk that I'm trying to work on, but it's hard comparing it to all these other amazing large groups, right? So I help moderate That Mom with a Laser that has 50,000 plus, I'm pretty sure at this point, which reminds me I need to bug Emily about what's going on with that giveaway. And then Will also has 50,000 plus. You know, I see all these people who have these large groups, and I'm over here with my 3,000, 3,500.
It's a solid 3,500.
It is a solid 3,500. And it just goes to show you that even the smallest group, as long as people want to be there and you make it a good place to be, it doesn't matter if you only have, under 1,000 or whatever. As long as you're providing that value, the safe place, somewhere where people can ask questions, get help, like that's what we all want. Because, not really any of the groups that I follow, but we all have a group where we're like, ugh, that group is full of spam, or that group, they're not there a lot, or they don't post enough, me until recently. That kind of stuff. So just having all of that it's really important. And just it made, like, the collab has done insanely well. I was pretty confident that we would get the 3 members that it was initially. I wouldn't have believed you if you told me it would happen in 2 days.
I know.
And then when you told me, if you told me we upped it to 6 and we had 3 more in 3 days, I also wouldn't have believed you. And then you telling me unlimited, I didn't have that on my bingo card either. So
let's go.
And if you're not in Blake's group, it's Great Lakes Laser Supply.
Yes.
So join that if you're not already. But what we're talking about is Blake, slid into my DMs and was like, hey, what if I sponsor the podcast and, give them a gift card in return for them signing up as a new patron? And I thought it was so genius. Obviously he gets something out of it as well because he gets more traffic to his website. Right. But the fact that he was, he could give $10 gift cards to people in his group.
Right.
You're not having to sign up for anything or whatever. So Yeah, and then it just snowballed.
Well, and then
I forgot how he also
for our
is
paid
right.
For our existing patron, because it's not just for
Right, because that
new,
was
because it's like when you join a cell phone, it's like, oh, free cell phone if
Right,
you're a
it's
new
always
customer.
new
It's like,
people.
well, what about me? I've been with you for like 12 years.
exactly.
I don't get a new phone for my
Yeah.
upgrade. So yes, you do get a new phone for your upgrade.
Right. So I immediately was like, okay, well, if we're going to do something like that, we have to find a way to also reward our existing members because,
We look out for
listen,
everyone that gives us money.
everyone. Like, there's people who have, like Will and Kathy and Ryan, who have been here literally since the
Day one,
beginning.
right.
And they've paid hundreds over
Yeah.
those 3 years to us.
Yep.
And that's just crazy
Yeah.
to me.
Thank
Crazy
you.
awesome,
Yeah.
but crazy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the revolution in laser engraving. Introducing Lens Digital, the creators of the game-changing Pyburn rotary attachment. With the Pyburn 4.0, you can turn ordinary cups, tumblers, glasses, and more into extraordinary masterpieces.
Looking to engrave niche items or want the functionality of a Chuck rotary? Look no further than the Pyburn Grip, Lens Digital's Chuck-style rotary. With a range of different sized jaws, you can easily engrave a wide variety of items. All Lens Digital products are compatible with most CO2 and Galvo lasers and were designed specifically for the laser industry. All that, paired with the best-in-class customer support, Lens Digital is your one-stop shop for all of your rotary needs.
Transform your laser engraving game with Lens Digital, where makers succeed. Unleash your creativity today.
And don't forget, we are proud Lens Digital affiliates as well. If you're shopping, code Riley Black will take $50 off any order of $600 or more.
Hey there, podcast listeners. How great would it feel if this was the year you finally got to escape your 9-to-5 to embrace your lifestyle of creativity and entrepreneurship?
Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, Eon Laser USA invites you to join the Freedom to Create webinar, where you'll learn how to make this a reality.
Join leading laser industry professional and brand ambassador Emily, aka That Mom with a Laser, and Eon Laser USA's sales manager Alicia as they dive into all things Eon.
Learn about the advantages of owning an Eon Laser and get the scoop on Eon's rewards and partner benefits. Plus, get a glimpse at how everyday people who started out with zero experience paid off their lasers, scaled their businesses, and transformed their lifestyles.
So if you're ready for a lifestyle change, head over to eonlaser.us/whyus and sign up for the Freedom to Create webinar today.
Thanks for listening. Laser on.
So
None.
and that discount is what? That's 20?
Yeah, so if you sign up as a new patron, for now we don't know when it'll end, but you know, at least for the month of August.
So if you're on the fence,
if you sign up as a new patron, you get $10 towards Blake's Great Lakes Laser Supply website. And then if you're an existing patron, we will choose at least one. I'm also trying to think of ways to make it sweeter for them. Because a lot of them are, I know none of them are like sour, but a lot of them are joking about like, oh, I'm going to like cancel and re-sign up. I'm like, no, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah, David.
Right, David.
Not going to say any names.
Right.
Not going to single anybody else,
Just
David.
Yeah. But yeah, so $10 if you're a new patron, $20 we'll do a drawing from one of the existing members to get $20 towards his website. And you know, on our list of things to talk about that disturbed the beginning of the show was Next Level 2025. We'll talk about that date in a second. But going to those things, create these relationships and these future collabs. And the collab that I had with Melody, we did that because of the conference. We did that for the conference. And then, you know, at the conference, I had already, you know, we had already had Blake on the podcast before. But it's different than being in person. You know what I mean? And yeah, so meeting him in person and, you know, just like growing that relationship and like, again, seeing them in person, you realize if people are either your people or maybe not as much your people as you might have thought. And yeah, it's so beneficial. Like we left that conference like so so proud, so happy, so fucking tired.
Yes.
But we made
And
some
the
great
wheels
relationships.
turning, and
Yeah.
we got a lot of things that we sit on the couch and like talk about, like,
All
oh, you
the
know what
time.
we should do? You know what we should do? We should do this. So there's a lot coming, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can make things work, and there's a lot coming.
Yeah. So next level.
Yes.
Speaking of how awesome it was, the dates are announced for
Yeah, they were announced
2025. Yeah, they really, I think they they felt the motivation,
Yeah.
their own motivation
Yeah.
from the conference, and they like hit the ground running almost
for
right
sure.
after. And so it's August 28th.
Well,
through
everyone-
the 30th.
Everyone there was talking about like
When's the next
year's.
one? Yeah. So it's August 28th through the 30th, and it's at the Gaylord in Grapevine, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So get ready for that. It's next to, it's 5 minutes from the DFW airport.
Right.
So, yeah, and we're
That Southwest does not fly to.
no. So if
we
we
found
want to
that
do
out.
Southwest, it's about 20 minutes away,
so
which still
yeah.
isn't terrible.
No. So if you fly Southwest, you're going to Love Field with
Yeah,
us.
don't-
We'll see you there.
Don't think
Oh, no,
you're going
we
to
won't.
Fort Worth.
No, we won't. We won't see you
I
there
know.
because we're driving.
It's so hard
Too
not
much.
to tell people.
Too much. No. What do you mean? We're not telling anything. We're driving because it's too much. Last time we had this whole thing about how much weight you can take and all this and that. So I told her, you know what?
It
Next
was.
time, no matter where it is, I think we should drive so we can bring more
Yeah.
inventory.
Although I do have a backup.
What?
Terry West lives in
Yeah.
Dallas or near Dallas, so she's who I can ship stuff to.
Yeah,
if we
but
don't
even
wanna
that's
put
even
everything
that's
in
like
the car.
hectic. It's just
Yeah.
drive. Driving is better.
Yeah.
It's gonna be better. A few days, we'll make a vacation out of it.
So comparing the Michigan meetup to Next Level, which probably isn't a fair comparison, but like, what did that conference do for you and your business and all of that? Besides the I guess the relationship we blossomed
No,
after.
I think the Michigan conference solidified things, like we're doing the right thing. It was unbelievable. The feedback we got, the continuous orders afterwards. And then
Awesome.
David kept bugging me. You should do Next Level. You should do Next Level. And I'm like, no way. It's like 3 or 4 weeks away. There's no way I could get in. So I shot Will a message. Hey, Will, I know it's super late. Is there any chance you can? And, he said, I'll look into it and I'll let you know. And so I waited 24 hours, 48 hours. David and I actually had a meeting with somebody. And he's like, have you heard from Will yet? I'm like, haven't heard yet. And then he told me that I was in. And
Nice.
then it was a scramble. I mean, I'm ordering
Yeah.
inventory.
Listen,
and,
I was scrambling, and I knew months and months and months ahead. We had a problem with some defective keychain thingies literally a week before, I think.
Oh, wow.
And so that was a panic going through 25, 26 different packages. We had to go through them one by one. And we ordered more, and I knew they probably wouldn't get here in time, but I had to order more anyway because we were low. But it's with time or without time, it's scary, but especially with just 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, your booth looked awesome.
It did work. It looked great considering.
Yeah. My goal was to be able to, kind of like with our group, I want to be able to help people. So that's why I brought my hat wall. It was very inconvenient to bring a, 8-foot tall hat wall, but I wanted to really show people our method of selling and the things that we had found success with Outnumbered 5 to 1. So having that there was a great visual for people, and they were able to see, how we were so successful with the hat clips and the hats and the other things that we have.
Well, it also helps your customers, like showing them like, hey, this is how you can set up your hats and the hat clips that you're buying from us, so that they, like, if it's attracting you, it'll likely attract, their customers as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that really helped spur some great conversation other than the first hour of the first it was crazy. I felt like a cashier at the
same.
grocery
Man.
store. Just it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was funny. Someone came over to me because I wasn't in there most of the time.
Right.
And, I was at the vendor table and someone came over to me and they go, man, John's getting slammed. And I was
Oh
like,
no,
yes.
I didn't know you were there by yourself. Or was
Yeah,
Victor
well,
with
I
you?
was,
no,
I was
he
with
was
Jeff.
with Jeff.
I was
Yeah.
with Jeff, but we had one POS system.
Yeah.
So it's like Jeff would talk to them and keep them like engaged there while I'm checking somebody out. And apparently I didn't even see the line because I was just trying to grab.
Yeah.
And then I loved the sales part of it and everything.
Right.
But I didn't like that I didn't get a chance to talk to everyone that
Right.
was purchasing from
It was
us.
just, what are
because-
you buying? Here's your total.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of.
Because part of the conferences is meeting everybody
Right.
and stuff like that. And again, you get to put faces
Yeah.
to these names and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like I wish I had, for that first hour, I wish I had a little bit more time
Yeah.
to kind of talk and be like, oh yeah, you commented this, or like, oh yeah, I remember you from even Bree and I forget her husband's name.
Albert.
Yeah, Albert. I knew it started with an A.
I wanted to
but
say
even,
Alfred.
even Bree and Albert, when they came to talk to me, like until they pulled the heads out, I didn't put
Two and two
two and two
together.
together. But had I been slammed, that wouldn't have, because I
Right.
think they even tried to during that time, but I was too busy, so
Right.
they like, oh, we'll come back around.
Yeah. And then when I did have a break, because I usually had at least one person, if not a line, waiting for me as well. But it was nice when I would look over and I'd have like the Shopify notifications.
Oh.
And I didn't know how many, but like I saw that like they were stacked.
It was going
And
crazy.
I was like, okay, I like it. I like that we're both busy right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That first hour was insane.
Yeah.
We both had a POS, so we both had a line. It was unbelievable. But just like you guys, I would much rather have 10 minutes to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And then after that first day, we were able to build those relationships,
Right.
talk
True.
to people, and that was much, much better.
Yeah. It was crazy to me. I was looking at, so we had that little keychain thingies, like guess a question.
Oh, right. Talking's hard.
It really is. You should do one with hat clips.
Yeah,
it would be
guess
a
how
good
many
guess
are
how
in-
many are in
Oh.
like some kind of jar or something.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Because one, it was just I wanted like a fun game or something.
Right.
I've heard that can get people just there and hanging out and conversating and having fun. I almost did Plinko like David did, so I'm glad I didn't do that. The keychain thing was better for our setup, but I was looking the other day and checking my subscription levels, and I had see, now I need to double check because they either had to say yes, they wanted to be on the list, or no. So I need to make sure that only the yeses are on my list now that I'm
okay.
saying this out loud. But I had like 320 new emails from that contest. And so, obviously they get to play along. They get to be on my email list if they want to. They could say no and still participate in the event. But I gathered over 300 emails and at an event that was 500 to 600 if you included everyone who was like
Right.
working it as well.
Right.
And that's huge. Over 50% of the people, that means 50% of the people stopped by
Right,
and
and
then
guessed.
also stayed.
Yeah.
And that means that they stayed there long enough to pull it up on their phone and submit their guests and
And it was
all
fun
that.
because everyone would be like, "Oh, how much are
so
in here?" I'm like,
fun.
"Oh, that's 1,000 pack," and then they would stack it, and they would see like how
grab
many.
the
And
1,000 packs and they'd so it was great. Like had fun conversation.
Right.
It's like the people that I recommend funny keychains to. I have some designs if anyone needs some. But the funny keychains when we did those few craft shows really helped start a conversation. People would laugh and they'd be like, "Oh, I love that. Oh, look at this."
Right.
Like having something fun that makes people laugh or feel welcome is something. And they would find one that they related to. Like there was one that like I was surprised how well it did. The I'm speeding because I have to poop.
Yeah, I remember that. keychain.
There's a lot of people who were that really liked that one and could relate to it. So you never know what other people what will draw them in. But and you'll play around, play with the ideas
Yeah.
and stuff. But it was a great idea to get people there and interested in playing along.
Yeah.
One of the
on-
booths that I was next to was PDS.
Yeah.
And it was just cool. A couple of things because of being right next to them was just awesome. Seeing those guys in action, what they were doing,
Yeah.
and then just building another relationship and another connection.
Yeah.
48 hours after the show, after we got home, I got invited to UV Energize.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That opportunity to get invited.
It would have been really dangerous for us to be right next to them. Seeing those printers the whole entire time.
Yes and no. Because it would be pretty because you'd want one.
Yeah, really bad.
But I don't know where you're going to put it.
I know where we're going to put it.
Where are we going to put it?
When this goes outside.
Oh, well, when this goes outside. But that's another pretty. That's another pretty
Hey, Steve,
penny.
This is where the UV printer can go.
It would look really good right there.
It would look really good. I mean, this is going to go out there. But I can make another pretty wall, a different pretty wall to go
behind it.
To go behind it. Yeah.
And it's red and black.
Right? I mean, listen, we have the same branding colors. So it's kind of
we can even
meant
keep
to
this
be.
Wall here.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll make a new one in there. in Studio 3.0.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
which is
man.
gonna be nice. But yeah, UV Energized, we were we're gonna have FOMO and not
major
going.
FOMO. Man, I crunched all the numbers.
How can we make it happen?
Yeah. Well, and it's not just that, it's also like the kids, it's
everything.
Travel, it's inventory, it's so many things.
Right.
And Steve went out of his way to, try and make it like as easy as possible for us to attend. He told us, we could do our podcast there.
Right.
We even tried to see, just going and not vending.
Right.
And man, I think the tickets with hotel, the tickets to the event weren't expensive, but the flights and then hotel, it was going to be like $1,500 to $2,000. So especially because, and then when you're not vending, spending that much is even tougher because now it's like, oh, okay, I'm not vending so that I need to make up that money some other way,
Right.
And people would joke, oh, it's a write-off. And it is. Right. But that money, write-off money has to come there from somewhere.
Yeah. You can't, you can't write off zero.
This is true. I mean, you could,
there's nothing to write off. So.
Yeah, and I mean, we have so many other goals right now. It's
funny when we were talking about vending, and she told me like how much it would be for just everything minus all the inventory that we were gonna have to buy just to make sure we were there. And I'm like, that's 3.0 right there. Those numbers, that's 3.0.
A good portion of it.
So like you're talking about how we're gonna bust our butt to get to that, which is great. It's a great it'll be
and definitely
great
would be beneficial if we could
would
make
be
it,
awesome.
Yeah.
But right now we want 3.0.
Yeah.
You're talking about 3.0 budget.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like,
although Steve, if you have like any last minute cancellations and you have a table that you want to give me, like
we can take pre-order
at a discount, or I'm open to all of the opportunities you may have.
Man, and I even entered Stephanie's flight giveaway.
Man, we've been trying.
And
the FOMO was real,
didn't work.
and I wish I could be there. And then Katie signed up after, not like because of Blake, but then Katie signed up as well.
Right. Everyone's going,
and
all the cool kids are going, and we're gonna be sitting. We can't go to this aquarium this year. We can't go on the field trip. Mom said no.
Right? Yeah. Except it was Dad who said no this time. Well, and Mom.
No, it wasn't. It was Wells Fargo.
No PNC.
Yeah, whatever. Just a bank. The bank said no.
The bank said no. For now. But then next year
we're gonna hit them all. That's what we said last year.
But the problem is UV Energize is right after Next Level.
Yeah, but it's in Nashville.
Yeah.
How long after?
I think it's the next week.
Yeah. So this is August 28th through the 30th.
Because if we're driving up.
And next year, is it the 2nd or the 5th?
Second to the 4th. Yeah.
I mean, if we're driving back down,
We could just make a little stop.
We could just go over there. We'll already have the inventory in the van.
This is true.
We'll have everything with us.
Oh.
So
Almost like
we just like take our sweet time getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know how
And then we're
tired?
Then we're gone. Then our kids won't recognize us when we come back. They'll be like, "Who are you guys?"
I this year was gone for 2 weeks total, including the conference, and I was like, "This was a terrible idea. I'm never doing this again." And then here we are
talking about
doing it again.
Run it back.
Yet. That's funny. How many hats you got?
I got 4 lined up.
This is 4?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say that I missed one. 'Cause listen, the second one I noticed late.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I even knew about this little. I love it.
Gotta switch it up.
You what?
Gotta switch it up.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you're the hat man, the hat clip man, you gotta switch it up, regularly. Gotta keep it new and fresh.
He did. He started his live the other day without a hat, and that was a little weird.
Yeah.
People kept commenting on the glare.
Yeah, he had taken it off to try another one on, one of his new ones on, and someone was like, "Oof, put on a hat, you're blinding us."
Mm-hmm.
You're on your way to
what?
To shiny. You're not. You like
No. I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm gonna keep it low. I'm gonna keep it to yeah.
to a, what is that? Is it even a 1?
It's a 0, I guess. It's without a guard.
Okay.
Yeah, because the guard I was using was a half.
So it's clippers basically, and you probably
just
shave.
I do. I shave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a step behind that. But when I shaved my head the first time, I got my bald spot. And it never grew back after that. And then my barber was like, "Oh yeah, I was surprised it grew back." I'm like, "Why didn't you tell me when I did it?" Like,
right? Tell me not to.
Right. When you saw me fresh, why don't you say so? Hey, that might not grow back if you're using a razor. And I'm like, what? I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have kept doing it with the razor.
Oh, you did it for a while. I thought it was like a one-time thing.
No. I did it for a little bit. I mean, well, you have to, because to keep that look, to keep it fresh and shiny,
it doesn't last.
You gotta shave that like every other day, or at least I did.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
Laser
that's why
that shit off.
That's why I'll keep it like this. I mean, listen, people pay a lot of money to tattoo this on, so
This is true.
I have it natural.
That is one of the trends right now.
Yeah, to tattoo this look. So I'll just keep the
Just
zero.
keep it. Yeah, for free.
Make them look good.
$0.99.
Free 99.
So what, besides UV Energize, like what are some things, like what are some initial goals, I guess, with your business, especially since it's a newbie kind of. You're not new, obviously, to owning a business, but it's in its infancy. So what's coming up next,
We originally going into the Michigan conference, I planned on like slow launching, but the demand for like everything that we had was there immediately.
Right.
So I had to hire a company to help me kind of get things listed on the website, to help update the website a little bit, but to continue to grow those offerings. I'm going to probably today or tomorrow release some like sample packs. We've got a lot of new people in the group that want to just try a bunch of different things. So we've got sample packs launching, and then people are going to help me test new products. With as busy as we are, I don't have time to test all of the new leatherettes and the new hats and the different things that we have. So we've got waterproof hats for testing. They're going to go out pretty soon this week, and some new leatherettes, golf ball leatherettes that are awesome.
Fun.
Yeah, so we got a lot of new products. There's things that I have right now that haven't launched yet that I have in inventory that I'm just trying to kind of a slow launch strategy. I've got things. Yeah,
you don't want to. I've struggled with that too, like because I'll go shopping and I'll buy like all the things, and then they all show up at my house and I'm like, shit. Now I gotta list all those. I have to take pictures. That's why a lot of my pictures with all of my metal blanks right now are like my hand. It does show size. Like I'll keep the picture once I take nice pictures, but it shows the size, but it's just plain black background. And yeah, I need more pictures and stuff, but I also need more time in the day. So yeah, that hasn't happened quite yet. But yeah, then you get it all, and then you kind of like overwhelm people. So, but then I also have this, like, you have to find like the happy medium. You almost need to like list it all and then start slowly promoting it, I think is what I would prefer to do, because I do feel guilty if like I list like 5 things and then promote those 5 things or 4 things or what, a smaller batch, and then they buy those, and then the next week I release 5 more, and they're like, but I just placed an order. You know, I don't want them to have FOMO of like, oh, I want those, but I'm not going to order them because I just ordered.
Right.
So yeah, maybe the release everything and then slowly start talking about each one.
Right.
Because if they're anything like me, when I go to a website, and especially if it's a newer website or I know you got some new things, I'm looking at everything.
Window shopping.
I'm window shopping everything. I want to see everything you got. I want to choose my favorites. And then I have the next time list and the save for later list. And, you know, I've been seeing a lot of people ask Melody with CMB of a wish list, which I wish, you know, I wish she had a wish list as well, because like sometimes you go shopping and you really need these few things and you don't want to buy everything, or you have a budget in mind and you know you just can't get that other one right now, or you don't have a purpose yet and whatever, you're not like me where you buy 40 sheets and then you figure out the purpose later. That's what I like to do, but
spray them and sort them out later.
Right. Which hey has come in handy several times, so it only encourages that behavior.
Enables that behavior.
It really does. But having a wish list, you know, so
do you have a wish list
on my website? I do not.
Okay.
No one's asked me for it yet, though. So I have to prioritize the things that people have actually asked for.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Now, if everyone was asking, you know, I'd be like trying to figure it out. But yeah. So beyond new offerings, are you also looking at like other shows to do? And
I honestly don't have anything really booked beyond UV Energize. Really just trying to lay a solid foundation for future growth. And I feel like we're really headed in the right direction. You know, I haven't done, you know, when you can invite like everyone to your Facebook group. I haven't done that. Like I'm just trying to grow naturally and really focus on a community that helps each other.
Right. And it'll grow. People will come if
you build it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You took too long. I had to put it in there.
Sorry. But like I was just saying, like people will come, like if you build a quality group, it will happen on its own. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And on touching on that, he's been real busy. Because my man's in the groups.
Yeah.
He's like, I've tried. Like I'm trying to slowly grow.
You have.
But
I've seen your efforts.
But everywhere I go, I see Blake. everywhere. Outside of his just normal like his group.
Right.
Like I've seen him in the next level. I've just seen him in all the groups, like just commenting, not like you say, you're growing organically. So it's not even like, hey, join my group.
Yeah.
It's just like he's just commenting. He's just like engaging.
Yeah.
And so
when
kudos to you. Sir.
Yeah.
You have a man of many hats.
I love helping people. Truly, that's my passion. So, you know, anytime I can take the opportunity, no matter what group it's in, you know, I love helping people. David would just give me a hard time today for not helping anybody in the Creative Cut supply group.
Are you a moderator in there?
I'm not. No, I'm not a moderator. But I just got my first roll of dual tight, so I haven't had the opportunity to really. I'm not trying to speak on something that I don't know anything about. So I just haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah, I finally unboxed mine the other day. I've been trying to organize.
It's just out of the box.
It's out of the box.
That's
I still haven't used it yet.
No.
I also have a fuck ton of 3M that I bought when I was overzealous and actually making things that I should probably honestly, I should just give it away because it has like a lifetime. Yeah, it has an expiration date.
We could do it to our patrons.
Yeah, except it'd be really expensive to ship it. I have to see if it fits in like a flat rate box. Because if not, it's going to have to be someone who wants to stop on by the house.
Or you can make a lot of stuff.
Porch pickup.
Right? Yeah, porch pickup to Florida people. Yeah, or I could make things.
You can make things.
But so the problem is that there are the rolls I don't use as much as I thought I would, because the rolls are harder when I make a lot of small things. The sheets are easier for me to like cut up and, you know, piece together, because if I'm only using like a section but it's on the roll, I can't easily like cut out a rectangle or, you know, because and any excess that now goes in the trash instead of saving it for another future project that has like small pieces. So yeah, I need to part with my beloved
With your 3M.
3M. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, but you do have that Michigan meetup coming up, right? In
Yes.
what, October?
October, good. Thank you very much. I did not put that on the
You're
list.
welcome.
I knew there was one more thing. October 12th. If you are in Michigan and you're not in the Michigan group, Laser Makers of Michigan, we've got a conference coming up October 12th. Get signed up, join the group.
We considered, rude yawn that interrupted me. We considered going to that one, but that is unfortunately going to be the date of our Halloween party.
Right.
Oh.
So, and Halloween is my Christmas. So I also do love Christmas, but Halloween wins. And we used to, at our other houses, would have big Halloween parties. We haven't had one in a couple years, I think.
Yeah.
So it's time. It's time.
For.
So it's October 12th. So unfortunately, those share a date.
Yep.
But.
So, and then we've already told people about the party. So.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah.
Makes
what
sense.
else?
I mean, my man's got some other giveaways.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, hold on. So something else I'm working on.
Okay.
Before we do, because we usually do that at the end. Are we near the end? I don't even know what time it is.
We're close.
Oh, okay. So before that,
Time flies.
It really does when you're having fun. So the my logo, our logo, the podcast logo.
Okay.
I finally found someone
TRBP.
on Fiverr
Okay.
to work on an alternate logo. Was initially what I was looking for.
Right.
And I love our logo because like it has a lot of meaning to it. Like this will always be the OG, even if the new logo, like if I love it so much that it kind of becomes the logo. So people may not know this. I don't think I've ever shared this story before.
Okay.
So the Riley Black, that my friend and old coworker, she actually was the one who initially helped me with my branding. I, obviously gave her some, suggestions. She knew a lot about me because we had worked together for years. And we were both still working at the oil and gas company. But she had done a lot of work, in college and that kind of stuff. So she had knowledge of this. Well, she came up with the Riley Black, this font that is the Riley Black. And then I drew this microphone. It's not difficult, but I drew it, and it was a lot harder than you'd think it would be. And then the and project were hand lettered by Heather Lynn.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
I don't think I learned.
I think you forgot.
Okay.
Because you knew it initially, for sure.
Yeah.
Because she was one of the only people who knew about the podcast before, before we did it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the story behind our current logo. And it may still be like one of our logos, but so I finally found someone. I've looked on Fiverr several times, and I would find somebody and I'd be like, maybe. And then, it's always like you see those couple bad reviews.
Do you know where they are?
No.
Where they're from?
I don't.
Okay.
Should I?
I was just curious.
Yeah, no, I didn't look at that. I honestly just looked at his previous like specimens or whatever they call them. And I really liked how a lot of his logos were kind of like a what do you call it? Like two things meshed together. So like one of them was Ninja Dentist. And it was a really cool tooth made into a ninja.
Right.
And then another one was like it was cosmic, and the O was like Saturn. So, and they were like simple,
Right.
and like modern,
Right,
but
right.
still like portrayed both.
Right.
Yeah, and so I told him I haven't seen anything yet, but I wanted him to choose a microphone similar to the one we have and combine it with a laser beam somehow.
That's cool.
So yeah, hopefully that will turn into something cool.
Yeah.
And then it'll be our initials, TRBP, because again, this is a lot. So when we tell people to create logos and business names that are laser friendly, not that ours is unlaser friendly, because it can be like single color and all that, but like our tagline, if we include that, it's really like it's a lot and it's little.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I haven't made an LED sign of our logo yet, and that's because it's not compatible with the way that I make LED signs. Because there's a lot of stupid little pieces.
Oh, so maybe we can have the TRVP
Exactly.
in 3.0.
Yes,
At
hopefully.
3.0, we'll have that.
Yeah, so that's why we don't have our own sign.
Yeah.
And ours part of the reason.
We're not.
And
this isn't the Sprouts Creations
procrastination. Right.
podcast.
Exactly. His was a lot more like laser friendly. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. And then if it does, it was funny. Fucking Victor goes, it's not like you know anybody who does stuff like that. And I was like, no, don't you go there. First of all, I didn't know what I wanted, so I don't want to do that to a friend. Because
Victor, I know what I want.
We're the worst customers as far as like knowing, just what we want.
Right.
I'm also very particular about this imaginary thing that I don't know about, that I don't know what I want. And yeah, it took me a long time to find someone. But then MJ pointed out, this is all in our conference group chat that was created in Dallas before. But she said it's a good thing that seeing the Fiverr guys stuff inspired me to think about microphones and the laser beams, because I hadn't really thought about that before.
Yeah.
So if it turns out well, he could maybe make some more logos.
I want to do a cool thing with Riley Black Media, RBM, where they take the letters and they make it into one.
Yes.
So Victor, if you can, I know
totally.
I know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Put RBM into one instead of just RBM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
And it would be a really cool alternate, because then it's that different shape if you don't want something rectangle.
Right. And it's like a logo. Like it's just like that.
Yeah. And if you don't have an alternate already, Blake, I would suggest it, because yours is awesome. But like, again, with the Great Lakes, and depending on the longer name, I feel like you need one that like incorporates the Great Lakes and then your initials as a good alternate to.
This is cool to have something else.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, there's just so many different things that you can put your logo on, and having choices of which one. And sometimes you just get sick of the same one.
Yeah.
I know I do.
You gotta rebrand.
I want to sometimes I just want to switch it up with with the similar look, but
different logo.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Different but the same.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to share before we wrap it up and do all the codes and all that, the good stuff?
No, I think that really covers everything. I mean, if you're going to be at UV Energized, come and see me. I'd love, like I said, I'd love to chat and meet more people. So if you're going to be there, come and talk to me. I'll be there by myself. So, if you wanted to keep an eye on the booth for a second, I don't know how I'm going to do it without Molly there. It'll be interesting.
So that actually brings up another question I have for you, is that, so you have a day job, and are you guys still doing the outnumbered 5-to-1?
We are, yeah. Molly fulfills those orders during the day, and we are still doing craft shows as well. So,
wow.
I mean, that was another wrench in going to the conference, because the 2 weekends before, we had shows both weekends, and we were slammed.
Right.
It was unbelievable. It was
good
crazy.
problems to have, but there's still problems. There's still things that you have to like solve and figure out, even though they are like
to have.
could be like potential, great money makers. It's still like, okay, well, how do we replenish afterwards? Like with your
Exactly.
inventory and your sleep and
Yep.
your sanity,
Mhm. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think I had either of those when we were driving down there. It was crazy.
Right? Well, how long was that drive?
It was 12 hours and 45 minutes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Did David do all of it, or did you guys switch off at all, or?
On the way there, we did rotate, but I started feeling sick on the way home. So
Oh,
I maybe
no.
drove 2.5 hours on the way home.
Yeah, he
No, really.
for real.
And then David drove almost the whole way home, and we drove through the night because we left for vacation. Like, as soon as I got home, I had to unhook the trailer and hook up our fifth wheel so we could go camping.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Well, at least, I mean, again, I get it because I literally left Tulsa and went back home, and I definitely wouldn't have not gone back home. I think I still would do it with how fucking tired I was.
Yeah.
And I mean, let me put it this way. I went out there to go see my dad, and when I found out that my dad was sick and I couldn't visit him for a few days, I was not happy he was sick.
Right.
But I welcomed the excuse for sleep.
Like just to, right.
My sister was making fun of me because I was falling asleep on the couch that Monday night at like 7:00. And mind you, that's 9:00 here, but still, that's really early for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was exhausting, but
in
so
a good
worth
way.
it. Yeah, for sure.
In a good way.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to talk about future awesome things that we're gonna do either separately or together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what's the code that you have for everybody? What do they get? When does it expire? All
It
that
is going to
good
be
stuff.
fourth quarter 24 is the code for 10% off.
Okay.
Fourth quarter 24 for 10% off our site.
Okay.
Nice.
And what's that site again?
GreatLakesLaserSupply.com.
Cool.
And as always, if you're a Patreon member,
Yes.
you get a little more, but you don't get that here.
Yeah.
Well, you get that in the
The patron exclusive Facebook group,
Right.
and on Patreon itself.
Yeah. So if you want that bump up,
Yeah.
go ahead and pay $4 a month. At least $4. If you want
Right.
to pay more, come on.
Yeah, right? Toss it in there.
Yeah.
I realized the other day
What did
that
you
I
realize?
still need to figure it out. I need to call Patreon or like send them an email or whatever. Danny somehow, so he didn't know it, but his card had expired and it like killed his membership without him knowing. And I mentioned this on the last show, I think, but he didn't know it. And so I told him at the conference, and he messaged me the other day and was like, "Oh, I bumped up my membership to $50 a month for the next 3 months to make up for the 3 months that he hadn't been at 25." And I'm like, people, everyone has really it's really hard not to cry like happy tears. Just kidding. But it's just so many people have been so amazing
you guys are awesome.
to us. Oh, and then I think we also talked about it, but one of our awesome patrons gifted a patron membership to another person who had stopped for a while because she couldn't afford it at the time.
Yeah.
And so just like things like that, just really, yes, I want more patrons,
Right.
so that we can do more awesome things.
Right, yeah.
But the almost 50 that we have now, and I think almost 90 that we have if we include our free members,
Right.
they're quality fucking people.
Yeah.
So I just feel so lucky and so blessed.
Yeah.
That
for sure. I mean, listen,
we have just amazing.
when we went and we told this story when we came back from the podcast conference, like everyone was telling us like we needed to grow significantly to like be able to run ads and do things on that level.
Right.
And it's like, well, no, we don't, because
Right.
we have this strong community that really like has our back, that we can go to like Eon, and we can go to Lens like, hey, do you guys want to sponsor the podcast? And they're like, of course we do. You know what I mean? So it's like, and this is going to be part of like the course when we get around to doing it, is that you don't have to listen to like the stats and all the numbers, especially in podcasting, because it's still brand new. Yeah. So we are in this niche market with lasers and everything, and everyone supports everyone, that we can do almost like, anything really. Yeah. Like look at the power of the groups.
You have on monetizing something, podcast, channels, whatever. The only limits you have is on you and what your brain can think of. Right. Yeah. And like the research you do, because just again, like I remember I was scrolling. I should reshare it. I was scrolling through old reels on our podcast because I was looking for something, and I found one where we were celebrating 7 patrons. Yeah. And it's just crazy to me, like where we're at. And again, it's
and again awesome the show like out, everyone coming to our live recording and everything. It's like that's still with us. That is still like mind blowing. Yeah. And like even doing it here, it's like picturing like they can't, like they're sitting out there. Yeah. Yeah. And like I told you, I'm like the day's gonna come where we're gonna be like not only the draw, but we're gonna be like selling tickets to a theater near you.
He was saying last night, he goes, I can't wait until they call us out on stage.
Yeah, we're gonna be. I'm like, we're gonna be in the back in the green room somewhere. Yeah. And we're gonna like peek out the curtain, and everyone's gonna be like coming in, sitting. You're gonna hear them chit chatting. They're there to see our show, like our taping, which is crazy to think about. Yeah. I was like, I don't know where it's gonna be, but it's gonna happen. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, Blake, thanks first of all, thank you for your generosity and everything for the community and to our listeners.
And we didn't mention, this wasn't his original podcast scheduled date. No. So he jumped in for us at the last minute. So thank you to you and to Molly. I know sometimes when we do these things, it means that Molly has to do other stuff. Yeah. So thank you to you both. Thank you for being flexible so that we could accommodate another person. And honestly, it was really perfect. Just with the success of that collaboration, I'm so glad that this opened up that we could have you on earlier.
Yeah, and if you're not if you're not part of the group, go check him out. His lives, you've been live. I mean, I don't even know.
Hey,
You're always
those
live.
Those phone calls are free. I liked that. Yeah, I liked cool. being on but not on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and it's good for people. Something that we actually did struggle with when we moved from audio-only podcast to video was there's some people who don't want to be on camera. Yeah. So, yes, while I think it would be great to play around with the ideas of the best way to go live in Facebook with several people. But I also think don't get rid of the phone call thing, because again, it was like a random, Thursday night, and I didn't feel like, getting
like
video ready.
It's like a radio show.
Well, and we've considered that before with voicemails. I wanted to do it with voicemails. People leaving
voicemails and answering them.
Yeah. Which we should revamp that, because now we got that Google number.
Yeah,
I wonder if they could leave
look into that.
voicemails and with questions and stuff.
Maybe in the after dark.
Yeah, or both. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, the ideas are always fucking coming.
They're always fun.
It's great, but it's annoying at the same time. Yeah. But anyway, keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys. The collaboration's been awesome, and it's just been awesome to get to know you guys more and talk to Crystal like every day.
Right.
Same. And Blake, stay right there, and you guys will be right back with the life update coming up next. And we are back.
What's up, y'all?
Thank Blake enough.
I know. I tell him thank you at least a few times a day.
Yeah.
And then every post.
And he's been at it. Like when I was giving him his flowers, it's because it's for real. Like I've seen him again. I've been trying to be more, in the groups and liking this and that. And every time I'm there's Blake. He's got either comment or it's from his, or he's going live. This man goes live. I don't know how many times.
Yeah,
like,
a few times a week or once a week or
almost every day.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just
that's how you grow the group.
I've been doing this, although this has changed and evolved many times over, through the process, through the years. Excuse me. It just came up from the depths. Yeah. I apologize. But I struggle most days right now. Although I'm in I'm in a good place and I'm literally I keep saying it, but crawling out.
Right.
Like I got my claws at the top.
Yeah.
And I'm just pushing through until I don't have to worry about claws anymore, keeping me afloat. And just there's a lot of people who are struggling as well, and it's easy to kind of join that, and it's hard, to just not be there.
Yeah.
When it feels like life be lifing is what I say, and it's not gonna stop. So you just have to find ways to turn that into positives. I've been trying to listen to more motivational, positive thinking things. We have he wrote out some badass goals on his phone that he let me read today that were pretty awesome. You got to write them down. We wrote notes to ourselves and put them under our pillows. Little things like so I feel like you guys can relate to this in some senses where say you have several orders, right? And you just spent the last hour or two packing them all up, getting them out to ship. And I love when they're done. I'm like, yes, it's a completed task, right? And if you're undiagnosed ADHD like me, it's hard to complete tasks. And literally it was today, I think today or yesterday, it was immediately after I had just printed the manifest. So otherwise I would have snuck it in.
Right.
It was right after I printed the manifest, and it was an order, and like you said, cha-ching, and I was like, ugh. And then I was like, no. Nope. And I was like, oh, universe, you are so great. Thank you for the order. Because it's like, I really am thankful.
Right, yeah.
But, and just marking something off the list is kind of nice if it stays marked off for a little bit more than 5 or 10 minutes. And again, not a negative thing, not a bad thing. But sometimes when you're just in that moment and you're trying to mark stuff off, another order can be stressful,
right?
Especially on the weekend. The weekends are the hardest for me. They're great and bad at the same time, because I'll see the orders come in, but I don't have to fill them right away, so it's great. But then Monday comes around, and I'm like, shit, I gotta fill all those.
That's what I say. It's like for me on pulling the orders, it's like I log in and a few, 2 or 3, okay, cool, and it's 7 orders. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Just not right.
Yeah, MJ, I was telling MJ about that today, about how I was really trying to she gave me kudos for showing up more publicly and out there, and doing my best,
doing the things right,
and doing all the things, and and I was telling her about how I was rephrasing my when I would get an order sometimes, and she was like, just think about it's. She said it in a joking way, but she's like, just think about it as people are like, man, Crystal has some cool stuff. Let me give her some of my monies.
Right.
And so it's just making sure that you gotta spin that around. And what was the meme that I saw and shared the other day? It's oh, you fall down the stairs, and you're like, man, thank you, universe. I got down there so much quicker. Yep. So even the negative ones you can turn into something positive. And our t-shirt people, Southern Tees, if you're anywhere near them, and if you're not, I told Will about them the other day. Yeah. He asked, where we get our merch from. Yeah. But the last time we went to go pick up one of our orders, I don't know if she shared this publicly, but she has some stuff going on. So before I share too much, but she had this just amazing outlook on some really difficult news.
Well, it's like our neighbors back in Sunrise. When
Oh my God, they were amazing.
Yeah, their house.
I'm sitting here bawling.
Yeah, their house
sitting
caught
in their
on fire.
house that like smells like a wet campfire.
Right.
And they're giving us advice on like life and how they're pushing through. Yeah. And then their next fucking place flooded.
Floods out, yeah. And record flooding in Fort
Lauderdale.
And
they were still somewhat like positive. And I'm like I just can't fathom that kind of positivity. And yes, it's amazing that you guys are alive. They're two like kids or grandkids or whatever were home. They did lose a couple pets, but like, you know, they were just the outlook they had. I was like, holy crap.
How in this time that you're almost like, it's okay to be like mad and depressed or whatever. Right. They're still like upbeat and like
they were worried about like us and like
and didn't really want much help. And it was just I
forced so
we can
whatever on them the GoFundMe.
Because they didn't want to right. And it's hard. I get it. I get it. But so now that all the riffraff is out of here,
are they all gone?
Because they should be all gone.
Are all the dedicated listeners still
these
listening?
are day ones that are listening this far into the podcast.
Right.
So
everyone
now
else
we can
is probably like trickled off.
Yeah, they've all fell off. So we can share.
We posted a kind of teaser the other day. We had this idea and I was like, I have to post something. And he was like, okay, post something and like see if people know, like have any ideas. Of like what this crazy idea is that we have.
And like one person said it.
Someone guessed it, but it was in DMs, not publicly.
Oh, it was in DMs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have decided that we are going to take this show on the road. And we're going on tour. Yes. We went from, and this is all because of Mark and Will and the Next Level Conference and then all the support, and really all the support you guys have given us and the love that you guys have. Because there was...
If I didn't think people wouldn't show up, this wouldn't be an idea.
Right, because before the conference... Not to say that we
talked about it before, but not like ever that seriously.
Like that we're gonna do it.
No, it would be like, oh, that'd be really cool if we could do it someday.
Oh, we're gonna go on tour.
Not like we're doing it now. How do we pull it off?
Right. So we went from talking about like one tour to now we have 3 tours. Planned. Like not planned, but we are planning 3 tours.
Like I have notes on my phone, and I know how many hours it takes to drive from this location to this one to this one to this one for all 3.
Yes, and how the tour,
potential dates,
how we're thinking of the tour will go is, we'll drive to a.
I was like, don't give away too much.
No, I'm not giving away details, but basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna drive to. We have routes that we're talking about, and we'll go and kind of like what we do on a week to week. We have people, makers on the show, and they talk about their story, but this will be. Not live, but it'll be in person in their space, hopefully.
Right.
And then as at the same time, since we're in town, maybe, we'll post and try to do a little meetup if their space allows, or if there's something near their space where we can hold a meetup. Yeah. And then you can have an opportunity to buy some thingies with
obviously, we got to slang thingies.
Because we got to pay for this tour somehow.
We do, right? So we're going to do sponsorships as well. To help fund it as as well. I just said as well, so I might as well say as well again. Yeah. But yeah. So keychain thingies and sponsorships to help pay for it, because that was the other thing. That was the preventing factor in the idea before. Right. Was how the heck are we going to pay for that? That's expensive.
Right. So and then you guys have also like, have you ever guys thought of going somewhere live and this and that? So. It's not just like our idea; it's kind of your idea too. So we're thinking of it. We have stops along the way. Mm-hmm. Obviously, more information to come. But if you made it this far in the podcast,
these late night recordings,
we're going on tour at a city near you at some point, probably next year.
Yeah. If not sooner.
Yeah, maybe sooner. That's sooner. It's you know what I had on my calendar? No more traveling.
He did. I
had that on my calendar.
And I was so glad. But that's what happens. The universe is like, hold my beer. And not only did he say no more travel and I said no more travel, then we seriously considered UV Energize and we aren't going.
Yeah, no, we're not going. But
we miss it. We want to. Yeah. Whatever. Then potentially sometime after that might be the first tour, maybe. And then, did your mom tell you what we talked about for Puerto Rico?
No.
So I was thinking that we should go to Puerto Rico over fall break.
Oh, over
winter break.
Okay.
With
Well,
the
I had already mentioned we would go like during. We'd have to see like their schedule.
Yeah.
Okay.
So his
Okay.
brother is now moving to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, as long as his plans stay.
As long as they stay the same, we're going to visit. And
Yeah,
hey,
so we'll visit him.
listen, depending on if we already have everything booked, we're going, just not visiting. Not visiting his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, but we won't speak that into existence. They'll be good.
No, yeah.
But yeah, so he's moving, which is it's major.
big
But
deal.
then we want to go visit him, and any excuse to go back to Puerto Rico is great for me.
I've never been,
because
so it'll be my first.
We could do a meetup while we're there.
We could. We have.
We have
what's
Carla.
her name? Carla. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are laser people everywhere.
Right?
Everywhere we go.
And I literally, if I wasn't so tired in Colorado, I would have
Had a
like
meetup
tried to, because I know that there's Colorado people out there.
Yep.
And even Braden with GS2 Awards. So I saw him. We were on the same flight together, but I don't think we really knew. But I saw him afterwards. He was like going to get his ride or whatever. And he was like, hey, I don't know what's in your schedule, but if you have time, I'm in Boulder, come see us. And there was no time.
Yeah.
It was resting and then
Boulder.
dad. Yeah. So actually I probably could have gone after like seeing my dad.
Oh, like on the way back.
Yeah, because it's not too terribly far from there. But yeah, so there's people everywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm excited I'm really excited about it. It honestly
I hope
it definitely helped, the clawing.
Yeah. I hope the maths and we can really make it happen.
Yeah.
Because we're still ironing out details and seeing how we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
cool.
So yeah, that's it, and we'll leave on that. It's been another great episode of the Riley Blackbriar. Crystal and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done.